Hey everybody, my name is Josh Hall Music. This is the Shavasana Kitty YouTube channel, and today's video is a little gear review about the Tascam Model 12. This is not a tutorial. Probably not even really likely to hear how the Tascam Model 12 sounds. I'm just going to tell you why I have it, why I bothered to buy it, and I've been using it now for over 2 years. So I'm sharing this mostly because sometimes people are looking for recommendations, and I'm not trying to sell you anything, but hearing this experience might be the thing that says, yeah, I want that, or it might be the thing that says, I am definitely not getting that. There are other things that are better to suit my needs. So here we go. This is the Tascam Model 12. Right now it is hooked up to my Mac Mini, which is sitting over there, and I'm running Studio One Pro, and I have set this up right now to be a DAW controller. So it is basically working as a control surface for me so that I can write automations for multiple channels. Volume and panning primarily, although I can I can have it play and stop and fast forward and things from the Tascam. I can move the sliders and it moves the sliders on the, on the screen. I can write the automations. Basically, it acts as a glorified mouse. All right, because I can do all of that with a mouse. I can also do it with my old PreSonus control surface thing. I've got a whatever this is called. I don't even remember what it's called, but I can do it from there too. It's just this allows me to do it multiple, but that's not why I bought the Model 12. That is like a bonus whoop-de-doo that came with it. All right. So here's the sequence of events. Before I had the Mac Mini that I'm currently using, I had one from 2010. I had basically been using it for almost 14 years. And as my recording studio, I could no longer upgrade it. So I had a version of, I think it was Studio One 3 I was running specifically on it, and it was the only program that it would run. I would start the computer, I would go make coffee, I would come back, it was all loaded up and ready to go. But that was basically all that Mac Mini could do, was run recording software. I didn't use it for the internet. I didn't do anything on it other than record. Kind of like having like a recording desk, and that's like all that desk does. It's not like it does anything else for you. So that was how I was using it. And along with that, I had this Focusrite Sapphire, what is that? A Pro 40 is what it's called. And it basically, it's 8 distinct mic inputs going into the computer FireWire. And the problem, of course, is that Apple kind of sunset FireWire. So when I got a new Mac Mini, it was no longer going to run that. So I needed a new interface. So I was like, well, what am I going to get? And I knew that I was going to need that. So there was kind of in the back of my mind, at some point I'm going to upgrade my computer, and when I do, I'm going to need an interface. At the same time, I have been using this dinosaur of a mixer. This is a Mackie 1604. Now, this is one of the first, kind of Mackie boards that was commercially available for folks like me who, and as you can see, this is in pristine condition. I've taken really good care of this, and it works great, and I've done some really cool recording projects with it because you can access just the preamps and send it to a digital recording device, but it only really can take up to 6 microphones. It's a 16-channel board. You can plug in other things, instruments and stuff, but you can really only record 6 mics. So if you're gonna use it, to record a band or something, it's pretty limited. As soon as you get a drum set in the room, you're done. So I would use it primarily as a sub mixer to my Sapphire. if I was going to record many things at once. Um, and it worked great for that. It also works great for like live settings. It's very clean, beautiful sounding. A lot of times, if I had a situation where I was running multiple things, I'd have all these weird little extension cords and stuff going to things so that you could run a phone through it, or it doesn't have Bluetooth or anything like that on it. So that dinosaur of equipment, though it was working and was really good, I knew that I was going to need something that's a little more useful in today's, life. So I needed an interface, and I knew I needed a new, interesting. I knew I needed a new interface, and I knew I needed a different kind of mixing board system for when I was playing with people, and I need, have mics and things like that, kirtan and other kinds of things that I would play in. So the Model 12 presented itself to me, the Tascam Model 12, as an answer to all of that. First, it has 8 microphone inputs. Even though it's a 12-channel mixer, you can hook up 8 distinct microphones. That is the same as my Sapphire Pro 40. I never needed more than 8 inputs. I just didn't. In the kind of recording I do, the kind of situations I find myself in, I never needed more than that. So I'm like, okay, that's good. Also, it has 8 mic inputs, so that's 2 more than the Mackie. And I was like, yay! Now I can have 2 more microphones. If I need to hook up somebody else to do something in the microphone realm, I can do that. And instrument-wise, I could always hook up more, and it was fine. If I needed it, I have the Mackie, and I could submix a whole bunch of things into one of the stereo channels into this, or even multiple stereo channels into the Model 12, and I could have that work as well. So it was like, okay, so now I've got this mixer that'll work, and I've got this audio interface that will work. The added bonus is that this has a really nice little SD card recording situation on it. And so you can actually record all of the channels that you might be having playing out, and it records each of them in their own distinct track, and it makes a stereo track of everything you've done. You can then put that onto your computer, and you can mix it in your digital workspace however you want. Or you can keep it right in the board and mix it there. That's awesome for all kinds of reasons. If you're a band and you're like having a rehearsal and you just want to hear how the song sounds, out loud in the room, you can do that. And then you can play it through your house speakers. You record for a little bit, play it through your house speakers, and then you can make adjustments or whatever. That's a lovely thing to be able to have access to do. You could just record the night and then go and take the best from it, and you could release that if you wanted to. I've used it in live yoga situations where I'll be playing like just Shavasana class or something like that. I run the sound through the Tascam and then out to the PA. Everyone hears the beautiful sound. I'm recording the sound, and if anybody coughs or somebody talks or they need to get up and use the bathroom, it doesn't get recorded because it's just recording my silent guitar, Yamaha, all the way in, and it's clean and beautiful and lovely, and it's just that sound. You can hear that on my website. It's available if you want, but that's awesome. So the Tascam Model 12 solved multiple problems for me. First, it is not a dinosaur of a live mixer, one, and it works great. It's an interface, USB-C, works great, right to the computer, does everything I need it to do. It's a control surface. It does, volume and panning and stuff. That's fine. you know. As far as like being able to adjust EQs and all that, like there are other products that would probably do better than that. Um, Certainly the Avid stuff and the soft tube stuff, there's a lot of really cool software, but the cost or the surfaces, but they cost the same or more than this. And I don't really need it for the kind of recording situations I find myself in. So this does what I need it to do. And four, it is its own recording desk. You don't need a computer at all. You can just record in this. And that is pretty awesome. It also has a Bluetooth channel. So if you want to Bluetooth your phone to it, or I've done situations where a person needed to hook their laptop up to it. They didn't have the cables, and I didn't really have the cables because I didn't know they were going to do that. And I just Bluetooth their computer to the channel, and then we were able to do an audio video program through the PA. It was easy. And so that kind of connectivity is really useful and not something that was available to me on my old dinosaur board from 1991. So if you have taken really good care of your equipment, but you find that maybe you might want something a little more modern, or maybe you're in a situation where you're just looking to have one piece of gear solve a lot of different problems and do it well, the Model 12 is actually a pretty good way to go, I think. Could you spend more on a distinct interface? Yes. Will it be better? I don't really think so. Not really. I haven't heard a quality detriment between my Focusrite and the Tascam at all. To me, they're exactly the same. Maybe it's because I don't have good enough gear to be able to tell the difference. I've certainly run into that. You know, people will loan me like, $200 or $300 guitar cables, and I'll be like hooking them up, and I'm like, I don't hear the difference. You know? So, in terms of gear, I try to buy things that solve problems. I don't buy things because of a brand name or because of a you want it to be something that's going to solve whatever your issues are in terms of your audio needs. And that's where I found the Model 12 to be really useful for that. So I hope this helps. Whether you decide to get this or not, that's up to you. But at least you've heard my perspective about it. I think it's a pretty decent piece of gear. And so far, it's been super reliable. I haven't had any problems with it. So, good luck to you. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.